Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the same world as an anime podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, there's a chill on the mountain tonight. This is Haunted Peak. Welcome, everybody. You hear that? It's quiet on this mountain, like some sort of silent hill. I'm Moxidine, here with the wild boar of the mountain himself, Isekai Sensei Sama Brad. Brad, how you doing? That one actually did sound like a pig this time. And joined by special guest star. This chapter mentions a weird YouTuber, so we got a weird YouTuber. Affectionate. This is General Ironicus. Also, his name is Grant. Grant,
Hello.
so fantastic to have you.
Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, we're just going to have a bad time. And I don't want to have a bad time. I want to have a good time. I was invited to read Peak. Apparently, there's also a mountain.
It's a mountain peak. We haven't gotten to the top of it yet, though. But yes, we are covering, on request by us asking him to bring a manga to read that none of us had taken in, we are reading Haunted Peak, which is a fairly fresh off the presses for us, because it started in April of 2026, this year of recording, in Weekly Young Jump. Though us Americans here are reading it on the Jump app. There are about 13 chapters out at time of recording. This is by Ryo Minanami, who my online searching tells me is a woman. At least my anime list tells me is a woman. She has also created some other manga I hadn't heard of called, oh goodness, I always do this to myself, Oboreru Hanabi.
That seems right.
Hatsuko Zombie, and Boys Abyss.
Hi, Grant. We're actually smack dab in the middle of the boys arc. If you weren't aware.
Is this coming out before or after the turn? Because it'd be funny to tell them what the turn is, I guess.
Literally in the middle.
Okay, it's in the middle then.
I think next week is... Oh, I can't say it. It hasn't come out.
It hasn't happened yet. You could beep it.
Not
Grant can hear it. You don't got to spoil him. It's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
So next week, the episode is...
Nope, singular. I remember being confused about that.
And then the week after that, what is it called?
So we had an arc. We try to do arcs when we're not doing whatever the heck Jump is forcing us to do. We try to do like themed arcs. So I made the boys arc, which is manga with boys in it. Not to be confused with manga for boys, though the manga can be for boys, but it's like, this manga got, which boy is your favorite kind of energy. So, and this is now releasing in the middle just by virtue of, I was just like, I don't care if it doesn't fit the theme.
Yeah, this does not fit the theme. There are only 2 boys in this. Oh, I guess there's 3 boys in this.
I mean, some of the other series that we've covered already have been sparsely populated
in the
with
first
boys
chapter.
In the first
that's the
chapter,
trouble of it.
I would say I'm not invested in ranking these boys.
No. I will say
we actually recorded the end of the boys arc already.
Yes,
so,
the way time works.
I think it fits.
Question, Brad, most of you. Grant can't answer this question. Sorry, Grant. Is this the first horror manga we've ever covered? We've covered things that are spooky, quote unquote, because there's a kabillion Exorcist manga, but I think this is the first one I could actually call like horror or thriller, I guess.
Gonron Egg was terrifying.
Don't you give me Gonron Egg.
Yeah, it might be the first like literally horror.
Yeah, I know.
Covered.
Much like on our episode of Anime Podcaster Speed Date that I think hopefully have heard by this time.
Yes.
With lovely guest star Grant, where we talked about mecha anime with Gundam, which we were also not very familiar with, and is us dipping our toe in. This was also another toe dip. So Grant, thank you for widening our horizons. I definitely have a horror arc on my horizon.
Sure, yeah. I guess this is horror. This ends in a way that points to it being horror, I will say.
Yes, I guess that's a better way to put it.
I mean, which is what else you expect from a chapter 1. Okay, sure.
Not to bury the lead, but I was getting death flags the whole time I was reading this.
Interesting. Okay, we want to get in it. Let me get through all the boilerplate first then. Because this is a new Jump thing, I know who translated and did the lettering. Translation was done by Jan Mitsuko Cash, who we've seen a few times, most recently with Cannon Master. And lettering was done by Stephen Dutro, which is a name I didn't recognize, but when I Googled him, his first result is a Wikipedia page, as he's been doing lettering for various American comics since 1991.
Wow.
He's also a workhorse doing manga, lettering for manga we'd recognized, Astro Baby, Dog's Red, Golden Kamui, Kill Blue, Full Metal Alchemist, and Cypher Academy, because I will never not bring up Cypher Academy. Grant, for your information, if you probably don't know about it, because why would you? Cypher Academy was a Shonen Jump series that came out, I think it was directly before we started doing the show consistently. So probably like 4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now. And was just full of the most inane, like mental puzzles and like riddles and stuff. And that's already a problem when you're trying to translate from Japanese to literally other language to try to do like wordplay puzzles. But then it was like even a notch up from that, and it got so bad. I don't remember if it was specifically that the original localizer left or was fired. Like literally just I can't
quit.
do this.
Yeah.
This is insane. Like there's no winning this battle. There's no way to translate this in a way that'll be at all meaningful to humans that speak English.
So the person they brought in to continue it was just like, I'm just going to translate it literally.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and redo these puzzles.
There's no hope.
Then they just, at the end of each puzzle, they just explain why it's interesting.
Yeah, because they are dense puzzles. Like it was like, bless you for trying, but also this is a game you can't win. So like, the lettering probably wasn't as bad, but shout out to Stephen. I don't think we've ever had somebody, at least in my Googling, that has shown up on either part that is done. I guess lettering you can do comics. The localization doesn't really fit Western comic books.
Recently, on one of my projects, Whiskers, We Share Knowledge Regarding Sequest, we looked at the single issue run of the tie-in comic for Sequest DSV, and that letterer also lettered Berserk.
There must be more, because it's Dark Horse. This isn't Dark Horse, but I know Berserk, I think, is the one who publishes Dark Horse in the West. So I could see that being, because I think this guy Steven also. I thought for a second, Grant, you were going to say, and it's also Steven's Dutro lettered it. Yeah.
Although, I mean, localizers and letterers pretty much just work contract based.
I know, but usually I feel like with a lot of our letterers we found it's like they just work manga, at least from my Googling, but this is the first guy it's like, and it's not like it's like, oh, he dabbled in some manga on top of all this comic book stuff he's doing. He had a ton of, like, this dude's been at it for a while, both old and new stuff, and then like I said also like, I think he had lists like Dark Horse, Marvel, DC. Again, there was like a Star Wars something or other he did in there. I didn't get the particulars, but it was wild. Like, I don't know. This is why I love checking those, because every so often we find a new name and we're like, wow. There was like somebody recently in one of the Jump ones who was like a long time like YouTuber who did tutorials to teach English speakers Japanese, and it was just like, this is a weird name. I'm like, oh, neat. This lady's been at it for ages, so it's just like there's little stories woven in here. So I don't know. I think that's neat. I just think it's neat. And so we can get to our main meat of things. I got to go through my patented Mach Speed manga summary. Our opening page shows what appears to be a dead man being covered with leaves with the text, "Yes, that's it. Keep falling. Please hide me." Chapter 1, The Boy in the Mountain. We start with our protag boy, Mikoma, fittingly up in the mountains with his friend girl, Momiji. It's complicated, as we'll see later. They're out foraging in the woods, or more accurately, Miko is foraging, and Momiji is along for the ride. They hold hands as the mountain is, according to Miko, dangerous. Now we're at Miko's home, sans Momiji, and home life is rough between his mom and younger sister. He's always out foraging like his grandfather, and just gives away what he finds to the local inn, like always, but younger sister Soko thinks that's stupid. Mom is also frustrated from getting nothing out of owning this mountain. Miko walks to school through lush backgrounds showing this rural mountain town. Before running into Momiji, they chat briefly, and then she goes running off to hold hands with her boyfriend. You can clearly tell they're dating because they both have the same stuffed animal keychain on their school bags. Duh. Also, we get a mini flashback where the boy in question, Roka, is telling Miko he's going to ask Momiji out because she likes him. But he knows Miko and her were closest kids, so he wanted to check in first. When asked if he actually likes her back, Roka responds, I figure it'll be easier than turning her down. Got a real winner on our hands, folks. Miko daydreams before class starts about these two beautiful humans which he is very much out of place from. But hey, at least he's got his own mountain. His thoughts are grabbed by a commotion by the window. A wild boar has gotten out into the school grounds. The most wonderfully, scrungly, and equally wonderful gender-unclear person hops to the window, excited that, quote, our gallant heroes have arrived, as the local hunting club appears to help deal with the pig. Our scrungly wonder declares, you stand in the presence of Princess Momiji's grandfather, and they are just generally excited to see the boar shot to pieces, but is very disappointed that's not what's happened, as the hunting club just steers the boar out of the schoolyard. A teacher addresses them by a given name, Manami Sakura, which they really dislike and ask not to be called by their given name. People then call them what I'm assuming is their chosen name, Makita, which from my light Googling is more masculine. While I'm on my little queer tangent of attempting to clock a fellow tribes homie, Makita wears both the ribbon of the female student and the pants of a male student, which I don't think I've really ever seen in manga and anime, and I wish I did more. This also helps me notice a bit that is shown later that Momiji and Roka have swapped their respective bow and tie for a silly couples bit. The scuttle out of the classroom seems to be the boar has run up into the mountains. Miko sees on social media Momiji and Roka's joint account and all their couples photos. Nope. Sure don't care about that as a hormonal teen boy. No siree, just need to get up into the mountains. On getting home, Mom and little sister, who never seem to be really doing anything, talk to Miko about the boar. Miko says it won't come up into the mountains. Momiji's granddad put out traps, which prompts his little sister to say, I guess the mountain was never that dangerous, which really irks Miko. Then, a Roomba smacks into him. Supposedly, this is granddad's, but he never would have bought one of these. Can't either of you two actually vacuum yourself? Nope. Outside in the mountains, Miko thinks of his grandpa spending all his time on the mountain and all the time they spent together as he taught little Miko. And then he passed out in the woods and was just stuck inside until he died, but he truly wanted to die in the woods. Miko remembers him being told that the mountain would be his one day. You're the one I want to leave the mountain to. Then Miko sees a very strange man dressed all in black with a leaf mask on. He rushes home in a panic and is told by a man we haven't met yet, Granddad's only son, who actually inherited the mountain, that he sold it, so don't go wandering there anymore. That weirdo owns my mountain now? Cut to school, and Roka is telling our lead that his ex-brother-in-law, the one that works for the forestry agency, that he's like a YouTuber or something, and he's building a cabin on the mountain. Momiji really wants to see him, so the three of them trek up into the mountains. Those two may be close, but Momiji is on my mountain, thinks Miko. Momiji mentions that Miko's granddad always said the ghost of a dead woman haunted the mountain, wandering around to find her corpse. She asks if Miko has seen her, and he responds, not yet. She laughs, that's creepy. You should come down and find yourself a living girlfriend instead. More subtly uncomfortable conversation takes place between the three, and they come upon the strange man's site. He's cleared away the trees and has the base of a cabin. They see him working, but he doesn't appear to be filming or even have a phone. He does have a chainsaw, though. I was like, oh no, he's got a chainsaw. I'm nervous now. Who is this dude, and why is he dressed like that? Momiji is scared and wants to leave before he sees them, but Miko sees his moment. You said there's nothing to do in this town. Let's do this. Let's film and find out who this guy really is. End of chapter 1. I had a really good time with this manga. We've never done a actual horror thing, even though this is like a very subtle start. But it feels like all of the pieces are here. For both the big and small. Grant, how did you get on with this?
This is all. I mean, this goes down easy, right? It is spooky. What's up with that leaf guy? It is for children, but but it is. I think it's effective. I think it's really atmospheric. It's really slow, like you might expect chapter 1 of a horror story to be, and is really focused on like this teenage inner turmoil. Like Miko's got problems, and I don't think he knows he's got problems. He just knows he loves that goddamn mountain so much.
I feel really bad for him because like this whole first chapter is just things that he loves not working out.
Yeah, like that's the why I feel the things of the horror tropes is it's like outside of whatever supernatural or dangerous thing that's going to happen, his life is already in disarray in a bunch of different ways, both big and small, some of which, like you were saying, Grant, like he's not fully aware of. It's like the whole, like, he has a home life, but it's not really like his sister and his mom just kind of lay around all day and aren't really supportive or helpful.
Yeah. His entire family have at least one moment where they're like, fuck that mountain, mountain, screw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, to that end, like all of the stuff continuing to not work out played into my feeling of dread throughout the whole thing and just continually going, somebody's going to die here. Somebody's going to get hurt. Something even worse is going to happen here. Even though throughout the entire chapter, like the worst thing that happens is they go, hey, we don't own that mountain anymore. Don't go up there. But there's so much like social dread in everything that's happening that it just sort of gets you this heightened like prickliness, just going something's bad's going to happen. Something worse is going to happen.
The boar showing up is just like this little like, hey, just like be aware things here may not always be the most safe. And obviously that situation gets solved, but like I just feel like that's like it's like a not a cat scare, but like that kind of thing of just like, hey, like things are not this like perfect little thing. We're not in the mountain time. We're out in the wilderness. Like things can happen here that are out kind of the control of things.
I will care when there are 29 to 39 more wild boars. One does nothing for me.
Something was in the air about that, because I swear recently that like the bit about wild boars showing up and being a problem, I swear has been like making the rounds.
Oh, it's
like,
been a couple years.
No, but like again recently, I swear. I know that was like the old like 30 to 4 old wild hogs thing, but it just seems weird that it was like, it's like that thing where you like learn about something, you see everyone like this just started popping up, and it's like, and then there was a wild boar in this manga that we read. Weird.
One wild boar.
I know one wild boar
can mess somebody up.
I believe it.
Now, a huge group of people, you'd think, okay, we'll get it taken care of. But yeah, and then you get into the packs of them, and it's like, oh, this is a problem.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the art on this? Because it's good. This is a good looking book. I have to assume that the backgrounds, at least a good number of them, are photo references. At least if they're going to keep up this amount of detail and fidelity on a weekly turnaround.
But even the characters, there's so much detail in like their clothing and everything. I have to imagine just it taking a long time.
It gives it a good sense of setting. I mean, I shouted it out in the summary of like the part where he's walking down the hill, and you get a lot of those those like kind of clearly photo referenced and or traced things behind you, and I'm like, I'm somewhere. Like I could just instantly feel. I've never been to a small Japan mountain town. I've never been to Japan, but I just instantly felt like, oh, I feel like I'm there.
I think we should be very clear. At most, it's traced, because I have seen where manga will literally just put in a black and white photo.
Oh, yeah, no, it is not just a photo.
And maybe put like a filter on it to try and be like, look, it's totally in here. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Or that's clearly a 3D model. But in this case, they obviously took the time to, actually use a pen or whatever and actually like do the work that is involved, even if it is a reference underneath.
Yeah. But it gives the thing. I'm hopping around now, but Grant, you had called out this one taking its time, and by virtue of us doing the show, so many times in chapter ones, authors are like speed running to get as many things done as possible.
Yeah,
and
that makes
by
sense.
and large, those chapters are not good.
That also makes sense. Yeah.
So it's just really nice because we're always just going slow down. Like make a space, make stakes, make characters, and like it's like really like maybe that's just like I'm just so jaded by all this garbage we've had to read from Jump recently, but I'm just like, wow, it's like I feel like I'm here. I'm actually invested emotionally with the characters and what's going on, even though like it moves at a good clip. It's not like it's taking its time, but it's not moving. It's moving slow, but it's not like get to the fireworks factory. It's like, ooh, okay, we're setting things up. I'm getting lowered into the pool, and it's kind of at just the right speed.
Yeah, when it got to the end, I sort of went, oh, wait a minute. There's still so much left to do. This isn't like so many other first chapters we've seen where it's like, this is a one shot and then we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Not that doesn't work. Like we've read plenty where it is like a one shot, but it totally works and you can continue going. But this one was very much like, yeah, we didn't actually give you anything but the setup. So
yes. And even then,
you better come back.
There's a strange man with a leaf mask, and he like maybe he's the guy that owns the mountain. Why is there scuttlebutt that he's a YouTuber? Is that not even important? Like I don't know.
Well, I think one of the best gags is okay. Well, to answer your question, if like I do have to wonder where this like assumption was that being a YouTuber is an interesting and glamorous life 18 years ago. That would have changed some things for me. These people are younger than like the first Uncharted Let's Play. These people are younger than maybe the third Uncharted Let's Play.
I don't want to think about that one.
But What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say?
I'm sorry for the
But
taking its time, the building dread.
yes. Like, I think by the end of this, you have our central character is our only really developed character. The two others that came with him for the final scene are like getting there, and then you have an array of like people who have said like, "Hey, here's my deal," and then just waited for the plot to come back to them in chapter 3, chapter 8. Just wait. That's just going to do something obviously.
Yeah, your favorite character.
Yeah.
What was
I need to
their
read.
name?
I need to get the name. I know. Anytime,
Makita.
Thank you.
In my notes, they are Scraggly Beanpole.
Yay! Yeah. No.
Like they seem so out of place among all the other characters.
That's what I love
But it's
about
also
them, 'cause
like,
they're just
oh,
so,
this
like,
is great. This is a great character.
people like this exist. Like, it's
They're
like, I know this
obviously
person.
crazy,
They're,
but, like,
no,
in a
they're
good
just full of
way.
the tism, Brad. Don't be mean about it.
If this title takes off, it will be on their back. It will be on Makita's back.
Well, I mean, yeah, you'd want to go like, are they coming back for a real part in this throughout it, or are they just going to be a background character that shows up every once in a while?
I don't know. They felt like somebody who's there to raise tension, but the fact that they have other stuff, and again, maybe this is me being hyper focused on queer things in manga that we just never ever ever see outside of ones that like are specifically about that, which is why I love seeing it. I love seeing it in things that aren't about it. But it's like, here's a moment of uncomfortability where this person, they've launched themselves to the window and are talking very strangely and are just so excited to see some bloodshed. This boar shot to bits.
I thought they were jumping out of the window to go after the boar.
No, but but there's all
their first appearance is some of my favorite comics work, like panel drafting in the whole book, because like if you look, their first appearance is a blur in the background, and then you have to turn the page to see the full half-page reveal of them hanging out the window. And I love that's good. That's comics, baby. Using the page turn to build up the pacing of your visual reveal that's what it's all about. That's the stuff.
That's what it's about. But no, they're great, because I know on my reread for writing the summary, because they're like somebody mentions it's like all the tomboys are out the window, and there's like a couple other specifically designed characters you see in like profile also there, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if we'll meet them later. Like there's clearly a set of them to an extent, but I don't know. Like that whole segment to me is very just like, let's build the uncomfortability of this. Of here's a character who's already not good at talking, and now somebody has completely taken the mic of the situation and is needlessly ratcheting up the tension of calling for blood and violence, literally about to rocket themselves out of the window just so they can see a look. And it's like, you're just in class already having to deal with all the things you're dealing with. That's why it's like the boar and that whole feels like a sort of like the like little cat scare thing of like, I'm turning up the burners a little bit. It's not really too connected to what you think is coming or not, but like, let's raise the tension a little bit, and then we turn the burners back down a little bit.
Speaking of go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, like the first thing that seems weird or out of place or something that would be like a hook is Mask Guy showing up. And that's, 30 pages in? It takes a bit sitting with these folks before, like, and here's a hook,
So that was interesting because, and the connection between what we first saw at the very beginning of the
dead body, which we don't even there's no reference to the entire chapter, but usually when I hate first pages, because Grant, other things, information we learned from doing this, so many first pages of manga are like a weird quote that is either trying to set the tone of what's going on but technically doesn't mean anything, or sometimes is teaching you rules of the world. Usually it's spoken by some omniscient narrator, or like technically the main character maybe said this but also not. So like having this one, which both you could, like, again, it helps build dread. It's like, here is what looks like a dead body, and then we don't ever talk or think about that again.
The thing was, given some of the stuff that he was talking about with his family and the way that they were talking about the dead body, because the one that we saw on the first page was like a boy, and I thought that was him, our main character. But then they're talking about a girl being dead up on the mountain. I thought that Momoji at the beginning was a ghost.
Oh.
And then when she showed up later, because I was looking at that, I was like, that looks exactly the same as the girl at the beginning. And then I'm like, no, that is the same girl. It's the same name.
It's not Phantom Busters, Brad.
I had to go back and forth and look.
I mean, this could be like a 6 months ago flashback or something.
Right. I was confused about how far back it was.
Me too, because it was like instantly I'm like, oh, this is obviously like right now, and then
they didn't look like they were that much younger.
They don't. That was when that confused me, and then I'm like, oh, this is them being closer, because it leads into more about why Momiji's relationship with, what was his name, Roka, is so just like. I love that it's like she had a crush on him and he just said, well, I can't dump her. Like, that would be mean. And that's why they're dating. And it's like, what a knife twist to Miko.
That's the most like middle school adolescent thing in the world is dating
I'm
someone
the girl you like
us.
because she likes me and I'm shrugging my shoulders at this. I guess I'll date her because she asked. I wouldn't want to be mean. And it's like,
that's
when
so
you're a hormonal
real.
boy doesn't know how to deal with that. That's like, oof.
I almost wonder if he sort of went into that situation of talking to about it to go like, hey, give me an excuse to say no.
No, I think he's that much of a... I mean, at this point in time, and maybe that's my cruel read on him, I think he's just that much of a dipshit. I mean, he's a teenage boy. Like,
the
it's fine.
Instagram scene I found so interesting and so gratifying that I was married before Instagram dating. But, like, before, like, your relationship was meant to be online performative. Gross. But... in all those pictures, you never see their faces.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they enjoying this?
That was the thing.
Yeah, how much is this staged?
I was almost wondering if, like, maybe she was doing this to, like, push our main character into making a move on her.
Yeah, like, who's she talking to all the way up the mountain in the last pages? Who's she kidding around and flirting with? Like,
yeah.
I mean, what? In the same way that they're teenage boys, I think she's a teenage girl. I didn't have it super in the summary, but like as they're walking up, she talks about it's like, what is there to do in this small mountain town? Like, I'm bored.
Yeah,
And I feel like partially why she's dating or doing any of this is like drama is interesting,
right?
Because I'm a teenage girl, and what else am I doing here? Not, again, none of them are acting truly maliciously. They're hormonal teenagers. Springboard from that, because I don't remember if it said or not. Are they in junior high or high school? I need to double check that. I don't think I ever caught that.
If I had to guess, I'd say they were 15.
That seems right.
That's also right. Like sort of just a general age that these kind of things tend to be.
Yeah.
The shonen geared series. Some of them skew a little bit older, 17, 18, but for the most part, you're looking at 15 or 16. So that's definitely what I would guess. And
right in that sweet spot.
At most I would say they're 17. I don't think they're final year.
No.
But they're definitely older. I think they're older than middle school. So, and of course the Japanese education system is different from ours, and it's really hard to keep track of.
Yeah. And also they're in like a rural town, which I have no idea how any of that works. Yeah. So I'd be fascinated to know. Other characters or things that jumped out at us?
I think like when they are watching Leaf Mask Guy and all of their assumptions are being disproven, like when they notice, hey, there's no cameras. He doesn't have a phone. What's going on here? Like that, I think, is pretty effective horror, right? Like you came up with ideas and nothing else, and now you've lost your ideas. You have nothing to defend you. You have nothing to frame this experience. It's the unknown has come, and the unknown is scary. That's pretty good. That's good plotting.
When he started walking towards them with the chainsaw,
I was like, did he?
I was like, oh, it's starting. This is going to be it.
I didn't think he's going to have a chainsaw. He's a man with a leaf mask. I'm like, oh man, I'm sure he's got an axe and a saw, but then he has a chainsaw. I'm like, I didn't know we could. Freaking Dr. Salvador over here from Resident Evil.
And I think that's what I keep coming back to is how much, this is probably what the mangaka was going for, but all of the imagery just kept dragging me into dread throughout the whole thing, even though nothing actually happened.
That's good horror, though. That's my favorite thing about this is like so actually actionable things happen here, but just because the stew pot is just so perfectly put together to do this, like I said, it's like his own personal struggles and what's going on. It's like, I think that's the heart of what the best horror is somebody is dealing with their own inner turmoil about something, and now there's a man with a knife who's trying to kill you. And you're trying to figure that out, but also your interpersonal stuff's all kind of janked up and trying to come to terms with that.
And your solution to the interpersonal stuff is, hey, why don't we be even weirder than this guy? Let's film this guy, the one with the chainsaw.
Yeah. It reminds me of have you seen Paranorman?
I have seen Paranorman.
Brad, I'm assuming by your face you have not seen it. You know about it, yes. Sorry. You have approximate knowledge of all things, yes. This is Brad's stand power, which I've recently renamed finally Think About Things, is that he has approximate knowledge of all things. And that is his special stand power. But it reminds me of that because it's like, here's a bunch of hormonal teenagers all dealing with their own things, but the main character is dealing with something kind of separate from his quest of he has lost his grandmother and he's dealing with the grief of this. And that will somehow thematically come into play with whatever the horror he has to deal with, because in that one it's that he's putting a bunch of ghosts, zombies, whatever you want to call them, to rest. And that is bumping up against all the hormones on top of his own personal thing he's getting over, because I'm assuming he's still mourning his grandfather. The fact that the thing with his grandfather is like, granddad passed out in the mountain and then just stayed inside the rest of his life and died inside, felt like this small white hot bit of tragedy of this man who was just so about this man that there was this kid's hero, and it's like he just went out stuck inside like his mom and his sister currently are.
I like to think that he did die up on that mountain.
But that's what you want to think.
That's where he left his spirit.
Yeah, exactly. But it's such a tragedy. It's very like this man that was in nature, but he didn't get to die in nature. He was stuck inside civilization.
I think that's what Miko thinks. That's what he believes. But like one of the more interesting things to me is the Roomba. Did you really know your grandpa? Is the grandpa in your mind real grandpa? It seems like he would be into a Roomba. He bought it. Allegedly. Maybe he didn't.
See, because I read that is that mom and little sister didn't want a vacuum, so they bought that, and they were just pawning it off. That it's like, oh yeah, it was granddad had this.
Well, not to mention, they just sold a mountain. They've got to be really rich now,
Do they?
Right?
Are they?
A whole mountain?
Okay, wait. I want to play Family Tree for... I don't know. A parcel of... I don't know. Okay, I want to take a moment to play Family Tree because I'm bad at Family Trees. So dad is... question marks.
The son.
What?
Of grandpa.
No, but is the man that comes and tells him that the mountain is sold his dad?
Yeah.
Is that confirmed? I thought that was his uncle. I thought that was the brother of the mom. I didn't know that was dad.
It is not confirmed either way. It just says... whoever that is grandpa's only son. It doesn't like it also doesn't say, oh, that's my mom and sister either. We're just taking that on the same assumption.
I swear he says little sister
okay,
and mom.
Yeah. I think you're right that it didn't say it explicitly, but yeah, I read it as his dad.
I read it as, I don't know why, because there's nothing ever mentioned that he's his dad, but I swear the other two are specifically worded.
It's just because you're too used to dad being dead.
Because that's my point, is that I thought dad, no, I wasn't going to say, because my new thing now is that he's the jazz player. Grant, you know about that. It's fucking Jotaro's dad. Anytime there's a dad who is just missing in a manga, it's that goddamn jazz player going around just making shonen protagonists everywhere and just disappearing. But no, I just thought, because it seemed somebody that was like less connected to them, but still that it was that.
I think he's less connected because he's the dad son, and he has to go out for work all the time. Why would you
describe your dad as your grandfather's one son, and why would that mean that Miko would never get it?
I think that was in the context of their conversation. He was saying he didn't leave it to you. He left it to his only son, me. And I've decided to sell
as your father.
Right.
I don't know. I just did not read him as dad. That's why I'm like very surprised right now.
Meanwhile, I mean, the grandfather totally could have left it. Well, I guess he couldn't because he was a minor. Yeah.
There could have been something. But yeah, like, I mean, that goes back into, did you really know your grandfather?
Mm-hmm.
But also, is there something spooky going on? I don't know. I'm like super freaking out now that you're like, yeah, it never confirms that this is little sister and mom, and I'm like, I swear I saw that, but maybe also not, and maybe I'm crazy.
Like, they share, like, the older woman is clearly the daughter of grandpa, and the younger woman is the granddaughter of grandpa, and we can make the same assumption. But hey, maybe he lives with his aunt and cousin. I don't think they're as specific as it seems.
Did they specifically name her the the mom as the daughter of the grandfather?
I think they said granddad because why would she know about granddad? But I guess in-law.
I mean, they lived with him.
No, but if she wasn't his kid, she married in.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean the other guy? They can't both be married in. If that's his dad, they can't both be granddad's children.
Right. I'm saying if the mom.
I'm not seeing a lot of branches on these trees. Maybe the family.
I mean, also not wrong.
If the mom is explicitly the daughter of the grandfather, then that was probably the uncle, not the dad. But if it isn't explicit that is granddad's daughter, it is explicit that that's granddad's son, and so it would be son and his wife.
Yeah, your granddad had it. Yeah. Man, this is like, now I'm even more like, what the heck is going on? Why would they not be clear about that? That's
I don't
spookier.
think it's super important.
No, but it gives that thing of the information you have about the world isn't what you think it is. Okay, wait. Yeah. I'm freaking... Yeah. The guy is listed as granddad's only son, but he's never... I guess by same assumption that I thought that was mom and younger sister, that is not dad, or that is dad. With the little information we have, what do we think is Leaf Guy's deal? What is he doing? Is he supernatural? What's going on?
If he's building a treehouse, that's a tiny treehouse.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's
cabin.
just a platform.
Well, he's starting. He's just one man with a chainsaw, I guess.
Yeah.
But...
Okay. All right. Sure. This
It's
is
a shed.
building it one room at a time. Okay. It's just the porch, and the rest of it will come out later.
Is he... Okay, this is me connecting threads. I mean, what the easy assumption is, like, is he a killer? Is he a serial killer? Because I think about the body that's the dead, what assuming is a dead body or a bloodied body. It's like, yeah, you could easily hiding bodies on the mountain is a thing. There's already the like tall tale that so the woman is dead and she's trying to find her body.
Yeah.
Like, there's already death and concept of ghosts lurking on the hill. So that's what makes me go like, well, what's this guy doing here now?
I think he is building a shrine because he also worships the mountain even more than our protagonist does. But in like sort of a, I don't know, Japanese take on like the Wicker Man sort of nature worship. Like it's not going to go good. It's going to be respect for the mountain turned horrific. And that's a shrine, not a cabin.
It is the right size to be a shrine.
You're right.
Because it doesn't seem big enough. Like, it could be a shed maybe, but it doesn't seem big enough to be a cabin.
Is he the guy that bought the bit of the mountain or not?
I don't think so. I think this is a separate man.
They are very specific that it's like the Forestry Service bought it or whatever.
Well, no, he knew through the liaison of that. I
Like
thought
the
that they were the
Forestry
liaison.
Service
I guess you're right, but I guess then
brokered, I
there's
guess,
I guess they're
Is
the
that
broker.
what the
No, you're
dad
right.
/ uncle says?
I think what Grant said is I think my read on it was that they brokered the deal.
Or like
because
the Forestry Service, they had to like sign some papers for the transfer sort of thing.
Yeah, because I mean, this mountain's been in that family's generation. Whatever. I guess, did we get a last name? I think I said a last name. They have a last name. He has Miko has a last name. I don't know if the rest of them have a last name. The what I think is the little sister
Mayar.
has a name. Goodness, man, this is exciting. We were talking about this earlier, Grant. There's so many times with the first chapter already catches the mail truck, and it's like, where are we supposed to go from here? And this one is like, I'm so excited about all the things going on and where it could go, and that's what. You'd be surprised how hard it seems for people to write a first chapter that like goes like, hey, what's going on? And then you go, well, I have to read chapter 2 now.
This could also be, I mean, it could be the effect of not being in Weekly Shonen Jump. So you don't feel the pressure of like, I got to get everything out there to get everybody hooked right away.
I don't know.
It's like, I'm just going to write the story that I want to write.
I would love to know how those things, I mean, I say it all the time. I would love to know how that kind of works and how that affects things. Because there's got to be something that keeps making these things that aren't good.
Yeah.
But this, no. I'm still stuck on that his family isn't his family and that's just some other random people. I'm granddad's son. That the fact that, oh man.
I guess that could be true as well, that's the uncle and the uncle's wife and daughter, and he's the nephew.
Could be.
Yeah. That was my thought. Is he is what we think is mom's brother, and by virtue of how stuff normally works with the patriarchy, the first son gets it,
Right.
And because it's like, well, if it went to mom, it would just go to Miko, but it doesn't. It's somebody just out of his reach, and I feel like if it was dad, it would come down more specifically. But I don't know.
He's been orphaned. He's living with his aunt, uncle, and cousin, and the dead woman on the mountain is his mom.
Ooh.
His mom that he doesn't talk about. He talks about her so little that the girl from school bringing it up doesn't know what she's bringing up.
Yeah.
Is his granddad still his granddad, or just conceptually? Where's grandma? Is grandma the corpse on the mountain?
Maybe.
Is granddad secretly the killer? And this weird leaf guy is actually, he looks like a horror
Maybe this
villain,
is the kid's
but maybe
dad.
he's the guy who I mean, I still really liked your the twisted version of nature worship, but it's is he the guy who is coming to cleanse the mountain? But for a lot of the time, they're antagonizing him because he's this big scary guy, but he's actually trying to do something to lift whatever the curse is on the mountain.
All right, I think that Miko thinks he's an orphan, but actually Leaf Guy is his dad.
This is the jazz player.
And the shrine is to get him in touch with his late wife, who is the mountain ghost, who is Miko's mom.
There you go.
Solved.
Solved.
We don't even have to read the rest of it now.
No, you can just imagine it. I'm dying to read more of it. This was one of the most, in recent memory, this was one of the most where I'm I can't keep reading. I have to stop until we record the episode, and I'm really sad about that. It's still stuck in my craw. Why was a seemingly non-binary character introduced and so the fact is if it was just oh, it's a tomboy, they're rocking the pants and the bow, but they so specifically took a fairly large panel to go, don't you government name me.
Yeah.
I've never seen a manga do that ever. You wouldn't spend time on that if that wasn't thematically important.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that going to come back around into this? Are they going to join the horror party?
They go up the mountain.
They have to, right?
Yeah.
I think they go up the mountain alone or on Miko's third or fourth trip. With him.
What? I guess because I could see rumors start going on what's going on, and they're all excited and try to go get in on whatever the action they assume is up there. And I don't want Scrungly Bingus to get done in. I don't know. Again, there's just this is what I like about when I can do horror. What I like about it is that it plants so many seeds of going, why is this happening? In a way that will if it's good, come together in a way that it's oh, this is why all these weird, seemingly disconnected or things to put you off kilter occurred. It's good. I love good manga. Every so often we read a lot of not good manga. It's just wow, you just know what you're doing. Holy heck. Then we have read some pretty good things recently, I guess, for Boys Arc, but not ones that grabbed me this much. The only other thought I had before we get into sort of final bits, and I mean also if y'all know things, is that I don't know if either of you saw anything of Silent Hill F that came out last year, because this is also pinging my brain on that. It's one of the reasons why I made a Silent Hill joke at the beginning, because that is another feels gender based. Admittedly, that one follows a young girl in a Japanese mountain town dealing with some both literal happenings in her social life, but also whatever the bigger supernatural horror is of what's going on. But it feels in that vein, which is maybe just Japanese horror, and I'm just too unclassed in that stuff to be able
there
to
is a lot of that.
poke it to point it out.
But yeah, no, I definitely the vibe that's going on.
That's what you
There's
want.
a lot of overlap there.
Yeah. But no, I wanted to make sure I said that because that was my thought, and then talking about it more, it's this kind of reminds me of Paranormal a little bit. But you're dealing with a relationship instead of a you're dealing with a romantic relationship instead of a familial one in that one, but you're also he's just dealing with a lot. So,
have you played that, Grant?
No, I don't play video games.
Oh, yeah.
he just sits and watches. We would need to have Void on to talk about Silent Hill. Any final thoughts before we get into the ending drag of this episode?
Miko and friends are climbing a mountain. Why are they climbing a mountain? To hug the mountain, to envelop that mountain. He wants to make love to the mountain.
I mean, he kind of does, honestly. Because he's all I don't need a girlfriend. I have a mountain.
I have a
That's
mountain.
He
He talks about that mountain so much, and it makes sense. His life revolves around the mountain, but like, I think just one case too many. At one point, what was it? If this school were a mountain, like, come on. We know you're obsessed with the mountain. You don't have to compare your friends who are dating to a mountain. That one in particular just makes it seem like there's a requirement. The word mountain appears on every page spread. Just take that one out.
I don't think that we can judge because none of us own a mountain.
None of us own a mountain.
We don't know what it's like.
I don't know what it's like. You're right. I feel like I need to go on a mountain now. I think I'm doing that. I leave on vacation like
What's
a week. And I think one of the
your favorite
itinerary plans
mountain?
is going to a mountain.
But I mean, again, if they literally owned the entire mountain and they sold it, they've got to be rich now.
I mean, it's what? It seemed like he sold a parcel of it, but also you're right. I didn't think about that, and I don't know.
It didn't sound like
Is that where they got the
sold
money
a
to buy the
parcel.
Roomba?
That's what I was saying before.
How many
is like,
Roombas can you get for a mountain?
well,
I don't know.
It wouldn't be the only thing that they bought, but I would have figured there would be more stuff than just the Roomba.
If that's the guy, if the guy with the leaf mask didn't buy the mountain, who bought the mountain? Is that just
Yeah.
going to be another dude? What's his deal? Like, again, this is the excitement of like, what's his deal going to be? How's he going to fit in this? Is he or is he not? There's just
Well, that's
questions.
that's why I thought it was like the Forestry Service bought the mountain from them, and this guy just showed up. And
Okay.
is unrelated to that.
Well, no, because that's the thing of when Roka comes and he's like, my ex brother-in-law, who's a part of that, is like this YouTuber guy. So there's like a singular human that the Forestry Service is aware of.
Well, and maybe that's a thing
but also
that
maybe
is
there is
happening.
But also maybe there is a YouTuber up there that is not the Leaf Man.
Right.
So there's just some dipshit up there with a camera. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Not us right now.
Y'all are going to leave my home digitally and physically, and I'm going to crack open chapter 2 in a heartbeat. I need to know what happens next. I'm going to be really sad when I read all the chapters that are out in English right now. But I'm sure this comes out like a lot of the other Jump Plus stuff, like every... Actually, I don't know, because I said this one was in a magazine. This one's not on Jump Plus specifically.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
do remember I saw when I read it, it was like new chapter in this many days. So it was less than a week.
Okay. I mean, so yeah, it might be fairly weekly, give or take. I don't know if all the other magazines work like Weekly Shonen Jump does, whatever. Any closing thoughts before we get into our thinky thinks and our feely feels?
Which you'll have to
I will explain then, but I wanted to open the floor.
Sure. What is everyone's favorite mountain?
Mount Washington's pretty good. It's
Yeah?
pretty close.
Okay.
Technically, I do live on the side of a mountain.
Mm.
It's not a big mountain. I mean, we're in the Appalachians here, so they're more like very tall hills.
I have a cheat answer, but I want to have a real answer. But I'm going to give you the cheat answer I figured out. Space Mountain, but specifically the one in Disneyland and not the one in Disney World.
Space Mountain ruined me for roller
Ruined
coasters
mountains?
as a child because I went to Disney when I was 6, and we went on Space Mountain and didn't know it was a roller coaster.
You
Ah.
were tall enough to ride Space Mountain? Of course you were. You're very tall.
And so, and if anyone is not familiar with Space Mountain, it's an inside roller coaster.
In the dark, mostly.
It is in a building in the dark with like flashing lights and stuff. And I got off of that and didn't ride another roller coaster until I was like 14.
The exterior is one of the prettiest buildings in the world, though. Oh.
Grant, well, I think about a real answer. What's your favorite mountain?
I think the world's best mountain is not in the world. It's Olympus Mons.
Ooh,
I mean, it is the biggest in the solar system,
that's pretty good. That's a pretty good mountain.
which is really interesting because Mars is like 2/3 the size of the Earth, but
Somehow
it's
got a really big mountain.
a bigger mountain.
It's got it where it counts, buddy.
There's much less erosion without,
Well, there's
water
that.
or
And I actually say
a thick
part of the
atmosphere. Yeah.
part of the reason it can have a bigger mountain is because it's smaller, so it doesn't have as much gravity with which to compress the
Yeah, to
stuff
make it less
on it.
tall. I don't think I have like a favorite physical mountain. Probably whatever mountain I'm supposed to like drive up in 2 weeks' time. I'll probably be really excited about
Where are you
that.
going?
Somewhere up in Maine. Actually, no, I think that one's in New Hampshire. I think we're driving to New Hampshire.
Mount
for that one,
Washington.
but- is that Mount Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, Neat. Okay, I'll be able to get to weigh in on that in a couple weeks then. Neato.
I guess I'm outvoted. That's 2-1.
Tentative vote. Also, I guess with my cheat answer,
Which car are you taking?
my sister's new one.
Okay. Because
Mine already survived the trip last
it
time.
does kill vehicles. It's relatively steep and it's very tall.
Okay. I'm glad it's her new car then. Side note, pour one out for Splash Mountain. I miss you even if you were based technically on an old racist cartoon from the 60s. I'm going to miss those songs. Okay. So Grant, Thinky Thinks and Feely Feels. So because we're attempting to be empirical in a medium where you can't actually do that, not a medium. We're trying to talk about art empirically, which you can't do. We have our Thinky Thinks, which is sort of where we have to exit our own body and go, how good do we think this manga is? And then our Feely Feels of just like, I don't care quality of life or anything like that, or however people think about it. This is how I'm feeling about it. At least that's the attempt. Obviously,
sure.
That's got its own. None of this is a science as much as we like to pretend it is. So,
and we have a general scale.
We technically have a scale, that goes from what is it? I mean, there's meme answers at the end, but we won't need to do that. At the top, fantastic, great, good, fine, bad, and even worse. But also, you can use whatever words you want. You can put spin on them. You can literally answer anything. But that is at least the basic structure of what you get to pick for Thinky Things and Feely Feels.
We very regularly combined two levels, so it's a gradient.
Or I'll do like fine derogatory, or like fine attaboy, or just like it's a pretend structure, just to give you a starting point, but literally you could say whatever words you want.
Much like this fictional mountain, it is a pretend structure that still somehow supports the entire narrative.
Incredible.
Should I kick us off?
You want to kick it off, Brad? What do you think you think?
I think my objective thought on this is I think this is amazing.
Yeah.
I think all of the pieces are in place for this to be an amazing series going forward. But even just this chapter alone, it's compelling. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. That sense of dread that I had the whole way through it. And as we touched on very early, the art is so good. The characters are good and compelling. The characters that need to have a lot of expression and, you know, you wonder about them and what they've got going on. You get that, but then there's also the characters that you don't get quite enough of, and you wonder, like, what the heck is their deal? But, like, that's on purpose. And just, like, yeah, front to back.
Heck yeah. I also think it's fantastic. Like, it's just like, I mean, I could just repeat a lot of things you'd say. I just think it has everything it's doing. It's building its story. I'm compelled in the characters. I'm compelled in the space. I want to learn. I mean, us asking questions for ages and kind of tittering about things is exciting. I just want to say this because it just randomly hit my brain of when I was rereading it for the summary. I like there's a spot in the wonderful way that comics can communicate things while being subtle is that there's like the moment when Miko is coming down the mountain to go to school, and you see Momiji, and she gets this like uber big panel. She's not the full page, but just all of a sudden you get this so much larger panel than everything else you've been seeing that involves people in it. And you just go, oh, I understand what's going on now. Like there's just so much, on top of all the stuff that it's so directly doing, there's so much subtle storytelling in the way that it frames what it's doing, which again speaks to an artist who knows what they're doing and how to tell a story with that. So I think it is fantastic. Yeah. Grant, what do you think?
One point about that particular panel is it's when she has the little leaf that shares her name, right?
Yes.
Near the beginning. Every time she's supposed to be like endearing or cute, she's leaning forward so she looks bustier. It happens like 3 times in this chapter.
No, that seems intentional, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. That's the language of comics, baby. So
is it different that a woman wrote it? If it is a woman, if anime listed, lie to me.
I'm not. Hey, this is the Thinky Things. I'm just presenting facts.
Sorry, I know. Sorry. We have so many roundabout conversations about like horniness in manga, but literally anything where it's like it's such a fine line between it's like the queer revolution of like, hey, you can be sexual, that's super chill, and like, this is a gross man wrote this and we can't like it, and never knowing where to land on so much of it.
Am I going to say it's unrealistic for someone for an Instagram obsessed person to know their best angles? Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
There's character grounding in that physical habit, I guess. But let's see. It's my turn to give a thinky think, and I think this is very, very good. It has so many spaces to go, so much room to move. I think it is very, very clever and very fertile for a story to have the closed civilized space of school and the family home, even though we can't exactly canonically label the family relationships that but contrasted against the story about the big wide open mountain and the power of nature and the intrusions in both directions with the boar and the expedition, etc.
That's a really great point that I hadn't thought of. The juxtaposition between this tiny little room where the mom and sister are like just lazing about all the time, contrasted against the huge open space of the mountain that we constantly see him walking through.
Mm-hmm. No, but also, I'm sorry, I also just got struck by the thing of the boar is that the mountain is this big, huge area that is contained, and the boar breaks that containment in the way that Miko breaks the containment of his civilization to go generally alone into the mountains.
Yeah.
He is the boar in the mountains. Fuck, that's good. That's poetic.
And you see the same range with like Miko at one end. He's super closed in himself. He's quiet. We only know what he's thinking because the camera is on him pretty much all the time, and we see all the relationships in his life so far. But then, you know, we have our feral child who's just so big, and there's room for that in this world too. And so you have a whole spectrum between them in styles of character expression. There's a lot of room to move, which is fantastic for building a chapter one of anything.
Yeah. Well,
back to the start. Brad, what are your feels?
I feel great. And the very specific reason why I'm not going for fantastic, amazing for my feelings is because I'm little baby and I don't like horror
You're
stuff.
getting a horror arc in the future, Brad. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll come after whatever we're doing in the fall. Vaguely, it maybe will fit in October, depending.
This is so autumnal.
I'm dying to do a horror arc now after this.
As much as it was compelling, and there's a huge part of me that is like, I need to read more of this and find out what's going on. The front to back dread that I got with reading this almost the entire time. There were only a couple spots to breathe for me just because of it was just the feeling of it. Nothing actually bad happened.
I'm so
just
ready
the feeling of it. I don't think I don't know if I can keep reading it.
Wow. Okay, I'll just have to tell you about it.
That's yeah.
Get current and just give a number. Just how many panels have the chainsaw?
I like Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man's fun. I feel that this is fantastic. I don't know what would keep it from the Meme Answer. I think the Meme Answer is always just reserved for things that are just like this hole is shaped for me.
If Makita was also a furry.
Don't say that. Don't out me. Why would you out me in front of our guest? How dare? How dare? Disrespectful. No,
we're in the middle of a boys arc. What are you?
Yeah, I just had a really good time with this. Like, I mean, you heard me. I've been shouting for the rooftops. I'm compelled. I am just so dying to read the next couple of chapters to see where this story goes. And like, I'm already thinking about like, when we need to do a horror arc now. Is manga that's been sitting that is shaped like this just been hiding in the peripheries, and I just never went to look at it. This is incredible. So I would say fantastic, parentheses, oh my gosh, a whole new world has been opened to me. Horror manga, let's do it. But yeah. Grant, what are your feels on Haunted Peak?
I'm going to stick with great on feels. Just there's lots of little moments of feeling that are really focused on. Like, I think one of the last things that happens is the girl holding our protagonist's shirt and then letting go, and that is what it inspires him to like, no, we're going to do the premise now. We're going to film this freak, and
I want that girl to hold my hand again.
Yeah,
but I don't have the words to describe that right now.
Yeah,
and like that moment is good because it is like it rings emotionally true, but also like the way she pinched his sweatshirt, it holds that peak when she lets go. Like, someone is watching how heavy cotton fabrics work. So I like it on a technical side too. So yeah, is good stuff. This was a lucky pick. I'm glad I did it for everyone.
I'm glad you did too. I was worried that it would be. I can sometimes be very particular in my opinions. And sometimes, not always. I try to be generally understanding of things, but it would have been like, oh man, I don't really like this one, and being a terrible whatever little goblin about it. So it was just like, okay, good, I like this. But yeah. We followed by this was, would you buy? Would you take the time to walk into a bookstore and slap, I don't remember how many dollars
10,
books cost now.
10-ish.
I think we've been saying 10. I don't think a single volume of manga costs 10 anymore. Probably more than that, depending. 10-ish.
No, some of them are like 8.
What, really?
Yeah.
Dang. But would you take the time to go to a bookstore and slap the money on the table and go, I would like to buy this? And we're specific about it because so many of the things we read, we're reading digitally, especially on stuff like the Viz app or the Shonen Jump app, where it's just, we're already paying the little cheap subscription to read it. So it's not really a question if we're going to read more. So I try to bring some extra. It's either money cost, or the fun one we've had recently is, how many flights of stairs would you walk up to get the next volume? Just some sort of measurement of what would you do to read more of it. And I think recently we had one, I think the episode that came out this week was, you said, I would fall down 2 flights of stairs to not read more of this.
Oh, those boys. Subpar boys.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So I wouldn't buy the volume of this.
Oh yeah, because you're
if I could.
Too spooky.
Well, yeah, but mostly just because this isn't my level of, I want to own a physical piece of this and keep it in my home is a pretty high bar. Now this does get close on the art side of that. Part of my bar is like, is this so pretty that I just want to own it physically, hold that art in my hand? This is very close on that grounds. On a story grounds, mostly just because this isn't my thing, I wouldn't go for that. However, I'd probably do, I'll say 3 flights of stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's respectable.
Yeah.
I'd slap down money for this. I think I'd stop at the first volume, though I'd want to read more. The one little bit of floating dread that I have in my brain that I haven't expressed yet is that anytime that you have like a big mystery, if it doesn't stick the landing, even if all the rest of it's really good, it can ruin everything. And there's some little worry in the back of my head. Not that it's shown its hand, but just literally of horror or big mystery. I mean, I could say manga specific, but literally all of media. And a bad, not well stuck ending can just completely like burn all the goodwill that you have in an instant. So I guess there is some fear of, I've bought all these volumes and then the ending hits and I go, I'm going to burn all these volumes now. This is just, this is what a. So again, I don't think it shows any signs of that.
Take
but
them
also
up the mountain and start a bonfire.
There you go. We only have one chapter, so who to speak. My local park, that is my normal nature wandering, I believe is closed because of the storm for the foreseeable future. So I cannot wander in my somewhat hilly tree zone. But yeah, Grant, would you buy / how many flights of steps would you walk up to read more of it?
I would. Before making a purchase decision, I would wait for like, if word of mouth got back to me, because I keep going back to, I see a lot of potential, but like, what if chapter 2 sucks?
No, we've been there.
You can have a great first step and then trip on your face on the second step. These things happen in the world, but hope springs eternal. I might, if I would spend $10 of birthday money on this. That's for sure.
I like that.
Birthday money ain't real.
So I think the conceit of Flights of Steps is like, the volume is a certain number of flights up these steps. How many will you go up in order to pick up the volume? And now it's yours.
Yeah.
I go 3 or 4. Yeah. Let's say 4.
But that's also very personal. I am a large man with bad knees. And so when I say 3, that's a significantly different answer than if Moxie were to say 3.
A Brad 3 and a Moxie 3 are two very different flights.
If Moxie said 3, I'd be like, oh, you don't think it's very good?
Yeah. No. Grant, it would be not weird for me to tell you how the rest of it is when I read it. No. Let's land this plane. I don't think we have any other business. We do not have to high noon. We're all pretty much on the same page.
Grant, before we get to the plugs and everything, is there anything that we didn't cover yet that you feel that we need to
regarding Haunted Peak thoughts? No. I think we were pretty thorough.
All right.
Well, Brad,
I think the leaf mask looks fantastic. Actually. I think of all the visual stuff we talked about, we could have dwelled more on just as a look, and as a look you could do at home if you have a properly large leafed tree
I was
nearby.
gonna say, you have to have, that's a big leaf.
and it has to not break. Is he cosplaying as a Kokiri or whatever they're called from Legend of Zelda? But also, I love, if you don't focus on that, he's just wearing all black.
Yeah.
He's got like a turtleneck on. Like the spirit of Steve Jobs is haunting this mountain.
He's ready to work tech crew at his community theater.
There you go.
But then there's a leaf. Yeah.
He's a theater nerd that's gone feral. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brad, let's haunt this peak. Let's bring this to a close. Let's do a horror movie related turn of phrase to say the podcast is ending.
Well, as opposed to most times, I've actually remembered that when we have guests on, we let the guests do their plug first so that people don't click off of it before the guest gets to do their plugs. So, Grant, how about you tell all of our listeners what you got going on and where to find you?
If you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on stuff, you can follow me on Blue Sky at mynameisgrant.bisky.social, and you're going to get more of that sort of thing. But current projects of mine include doing a Let's Play of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You can just search for Chip Cheesem LPs or Chip and Ironicus. You're going to find that, and almost 2 decades of other similar projects. Like, Final Fantasy VII Remake. We kind of reference that one a lot, naturally. Also, you can listen to Whiskers, We Share Knowledge Regarding Sequest, where my wife and I have been going through one of her favorite childhood shows, Sequest DSV. We kind of ran out of it and are doing other things in its aura, in its orbit.
Wake?
It's the most recent one of which is the second of 3 tie-in novels from the writer of the Resident Evil 4 remake, and there are a lot more similarities than you would expect.
Huh.
Yeah.
What?
If you want to talk
about... When were these novels written?
1993. Well, that one came out in 94, but it would have been written in 93. It came out in January.
And then 3 decades later?
Yes.
He wrote the Resident Evil 4 remake?
Yes.
Anything's possible.
Apparently.
Wow. Small world.
But most of all, I want to point people to The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, what we're calling a magical surrealist audio drama. It is a mystery about a young woman named Lydia who goes missing, and the strange, bizarre world she finds herself in. Her friends who are trying to find her in this web of family conspiracy. I play one of the conspiratorial family members, a real son of a gun of an uncle named Alexei. One of my favorite things about it is, were it a film, you would call it found footage. So I've been calling it assembled audio instead.
Fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for keeping the alliteration in there.
It's important. So there is that just like level of, I don't know, documentary feel, and every scene has a slightly different audio texture because of the very source it's taken from. And it's our audio team has done an amazing job, including all the original music. It's great. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and you can listen to about half of it right now. It's going to keep coming out, new episodes every Sunday until our season has concluded. You can learn more. It's called The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, or you can just go to lydiadisappears.com.
Awesome.
super excited. I'm very excited to listen to that now. I'm gonna listen to that, and I'm gonna read Haunted Peak. I'm just gonna mash both of them into my brain.
Well, as always, we want to thank everybody for listening, joining us today, and thank you so much, Grant, for joining us.
Thank
for
you,
this.
Grant. This has been an incredible delight.
Oh, thank you so much.
And we want to hear from people, so everybody listening should go on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com, and check out our social links page, where they can find all the links to the various social media that we're on. The best way to chat with us is to go on our Discord. We've got a lot of good, fun people on there, and we have a lot of good conversations, and we're always looking for more cool people to talk with. Oh, and before I forget, because this episode is going to come out, and I forgot to put it on all the other episodes, including ones that are going to come out after this, we are doing a live stream on August 1st. We are going to be live streaming, what is it called?
Is it Battle Construction Vehicle?
Yeah.
Which is an old PS2 fighting game that is also somewhat of an anime about people having shonen fights with construction vehicles.
Right.
This is an internet classic. This is a long time coming from our Kraftwerks arc of manga about the trades and crafts people do.
And we promised that when we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube that we would
do that.
And we hit it months ago.
We're finally getting around to it now because life is busy.
Yeah. But yeah, as I said, that's going to be August 1st, 6 p.m. Eastern. So
from where? Is it the Discord?
So it'll be on YouTube, it'll be on Twitch, and it'll be any place else I can get working.
Okay.
So it will be multi-streamed. You can join our Discord to find more information on that if you need it. Otherwise, get subscribed to our YouTube, and I believe the Twitch link will also be up on our social links page.
Cool.
If you prefer Twitch. But we also have a link up there to our Patreon, where our supporters get perks like bonus episodes, which we've had one recently, and potentially another one with some interesting content with Grant.
Yes, some good stuff. Some good stuff.
Yeah. Our patrons also get the high-quality stereo version of the podcast early. And Moxie, you've got something coming up that you want to tell them about?
Yes, if you are a merchant tier above, that is $3 for 1 month. You get to submit a manga for what we're calling Obligation Arc. So hopefully in the fall, we are having an arc of you can pick whatever manga you want us to cover, and we will cover it. All you got to do, be a merchant tier, come into the Discord, into that chat thread, go, hey, I want you guys to cover this. We go, okay, put it on the spreadsheet, and when the time comes, whatever it is, I will be powerless to stop you. We will cover whatever manga you want. So if there's been something you've been dying for us to read, or just something you want other people to read, it's so affordable. It's incredible. You'd be stupid not to.
What a deal.
What a deal. What a steal. So yes, that is coming up in still a number of months. You still have time. So yeah, please, we're excited to see. We already have some fun stuff in there, so excited to see some more then.
And our patrons also get a shout out, which is what will happen right now. So first and foremost, at our noble tier, we've got our Crown Prince, Slimy Okra, who I really hope appreciates these episodes.
Oh.
Also at our noble tier, we've got our Marquis. Nope. This is what I get for trying to do it by memory. Also at our noble tier, we've got our Archduke, Imaginary Numeral. At our noble tier, we've got our Marquis, Sir Cake Dwarf. And last, and certainly not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Laura Carroll, Last Man on Earth, and Rena. So thank you so much to all of our patrons.
Thank you, patrons. Thank you, Brad, for doing it. Grant, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun.
Oh, of course. I mean, I've been shopping myself around to a whole lot of new shows, meeting a lot of new people for the benefit of promoting the disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, of course. But every single one of them has been a joy. And this was
I hope you had a good time. Yes. Certainly, we'd love to have you back at some point. Obviously,
it's great that we were the best one. So. Yeah.
But no, I guess because I haven't added myself on mic yet for recording. I've been following you for like since I was in high school many decades ago. I'm getting old. We're all getting old. So it's just really neat that we got to make something together. So that's really cool. So I have to remember how to end this podcast right now with a guest on.
You do it all the time.
I know. You're right. When was the last time we had a guest on? And you know how Silent Hill has Pyramid Head? Is this guy just going to be Leaf Head? Maple Head? Is he Canadian? I have to think of an opening bit.
Yeah.
I never write that down.
You never write it.
I never write it down. I write down the other bit now. The introduction bit. Okay, what? Because it's spooky. We're spooky, right?
Good.
I don't know.
Do it.
Sometimes you should just be done with things.
Yep.
Hey,
Mitch McConnell's still alive.
Dang it! Why would you tell me that? I thought we could get a two for deal after that other guy bit it.
Sorry.
Bring this podcast to a halt.
If you talk to him for more than 20 minutes, you die.
He had pneumonia.
Oh man.
So he only has a couple days
I
left.
got one SGDQ blessing and wish into the world from all that money they raised. No. What do we think?
Doctors with one border do not see this man.
Fuck that! If all this has to go to the afterboops stuff, but that has to go to the afterboops because that's killer. That's incredible. See, this is Brett. This is why I want to have Grant on because he's got fucking zingers like this.
I've been doing this by memory for a couple weeks.
You've been doing it for over 100 episodes, Brad.
I have been doing it by memory every time. Is there anything other than Discord?
You should usually shout out the Patreon then, I think.
I was trying to remember if there was something in between that.
Occasionally you talk about the other spots, but like also we've been getting away from that, so a bit, my kingdom for a bit.
I'm sorry, still Captain Kirk is climbing the mountain. Why is he climbing the mountain?
Is that the thing from the Envelop the Mountain? Because I know I've heard that before, but I could not place it. Okay.
Yes.
I don't think those are maple leaves, but
What?
maybe.
I don't know. I just thought of other leaves. What's a leaf name?
Leave it alone.
Leaf Erickson. That's what you ended on, that awful joke. We did it. We made it.
Okay.
Maples are going to be some of the largest leaves you can find in North America, at least.
But they're not in North America.
We are.
We are.
For our
trees
cosplays.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There's trees there's trees from Japan in my city.
Or maybe it is a maple tree and the Japanese are just smaller than us, so it fits.
Jesus. I gotta go visit the ginkgo trees at the cemetery now that are from Japan. They're like the largest ginkgo trees in the country.